Hey, Glenn here, and welcome to the fourth video in this series of going through the Warnings entire recorded catalogue, and we're on the Escape the Mind EP. We're at the title track, Escape the Mind, and the difference between this song and the others that I've gone through is this is one that's a little bit more familiar to me because it stood out to me a lot more than the others. I remember when I first heard it. So, as I've explained in the previous videos, this EP I've only listened to in its entirety from start to finish, maybe twice before, and it's been a while since I've listened to it, so there's a lot that's not very familiar. But this song is one that, as I say, I did recall that it stood out to me, so I've listened to this song a few more times since then. So I'm going to just crack on and I will share my thoughts on what I'm hearing and what I'm observing as we go along. So let's get going.
I can't break down the boundaries, can't put the past behind me. I just can't believe that you can break the cage, destroy the chains, escape the mind.
Okay, so here we're hearing Paulina, and now giving her usual great performance there. And what's interesting about this song as well is we're hearing some nice strings. Now, I don't know if they used real strings or if they were using samples. Either way, it sounds great. And yeah, let's crack on. Okay, so I just want to jump in there and talk a little bit about what we're hearing here. So we're hearing again strings sound lovely over the top of the piano and Pau's voice there. I don't know who it was who played the piano on this recording, but I'm guessing it was probably Pau. Technically be any of the three because all three play piano, but I imagine it's probably Pau playing that. So it's very much a Pau performance so far, with the addition of the strings over the top, of course. And again, as with all the other songs, we again hearing that kind of slight naivety with the lyrics and particularly the rhythm of the lyrics. And I think that is something that a lot of beginner songwriters do struggle with, especially young songwriters. It's something typically get better at. It comes with practice. And case in point, look at the Warning now, right? They've nailed it, right? So you can certainly see that it's something that is improved upon. But what I think people have a tendency to do is when they're writing, they've got a lyric in their mind and they want to put it out. So they do. And then they've got to kind of make it fit. So that's where you very often hear like the rhythm of the lyrics will be going up to a certain point, and then it kind of does a little kind of hop, skip, and a jump sort of thing. And you hear that a lot in these early songs. And it's because with the aim to do that, the songwriter doesn't really know how to maybe word what they want to say in a different way to make it fit rhythmically with the rest of the lyrics. Again, as I've been saying right through with these songs I've been listening to, it's not a criticism at all, just an observation. It's something though that as we listen to the later songs as we go on, we hear things get better. We do hear things improve. And of course, anyone who's heard the latest album, well, results speak for themselves, right? Of course. But we have to look at this for what it was. And we're still very young, they were learning their craft, and not taking anything away from them. Anything that's saying here that we're looking at. Just an observation. But I love this song. Really love the overall feel, the vibe of the song. It's kind of melancholy and dramatic at the same time, and I just love those strings over the top. Anybody who knows me knows I love strings. I'll just take it back a little bit and we'll back on.
Here in this place, nobody shows their face. Fear has reigned control over us. We live in a cage, but I am going to escape today. I'm breaking down the boundaries, putting the past behind me. I'm stepping over the debris. I finally can breathe. I can see I am free. I've escaped the mind.
Two things just want to mention at this point. Number one, the one thing I think's missing, it's just personal preference, but I would have loved to hear some harmonies on that chorus. I think that would have been so powerful. I have had some harmonies, even if it's just one extra voice, but 3-part harmonies on that chorus, I think would be great. Not to take anything away from Pow's delivery, you know, it's again very much a Pow song, this, and yeah, it's great as it is, but I personally would have loved to have heard some 3-part harmonies on that chorus. And there was something else I was going to mention, and I've forgotten what it was. Oh yes, that's what it was. The actual theme of this song, and indeed the EP. They've named the EP "Escape the Mind," and we've seen this graphic throughout on all these songs, haven't we? Of the head looking inside the maze, and I think there's some lyrical reference to that. I think earlier on in this song. It's an interesting concept, and certainly find that a lot with some of the Warnings, well, all the Warning songs, but particularly, I think it's particularly interesting in some of those early songs, some of the maturity in the song subjects that we hear. So what they kind of lack with regards to the experience and the refinement of the craft, they more than make up for in the maturity and observational skills that they clearly had. Particularly Paulina. I know that Pau is very observant, she's very sensitive, and even at that age, she was very, very aware of stuff happening in life generally, maybe things she'd personally observed, she'd personally felt. Of course, as a songwriter, those sorts of things come out, and yeah, just wonderful, wonderful stuff. So let's crack on here.
Everything is fake, nothing will ever change. Here in this place, we're just pawns in a game. All we'll ever do is play. I won't stay here. I'm going to overcome my fear.
Okay, so we're in a nice little change of vibe there. Got the strings sort of coming quite powerfully there with the steady notes, and then you've got the arpeggiated piano there going contrast, complementing each other though perfectly. I know I said that I wasn't sure, and I hold my hands up, I could be wrong on this. I said at the beginning I wasn't sure whether those are real strings or samples. I think the samples. There's just a little moment ago I heard slight, can't even put my finger on it, I can't kind of describe it, I just heard it, a slight nuance that did sound like it was a triggered sample played on a keyboard. Nothing wrong in that, nothing wrong in that at all. It's just interesting. I like to know, to be able to pick up on stuff, but as I say, I could be wrong. Maybe they did use live strings, some live actual people playing them. I don't know. But anyway, let's crack on. Now, I'm going to be eating my own words here, aren't I? Because I've just stopped it at a point that does exactly what I said before I'd love to hear. And that just goes to show I've not listened to this song as much as perhaps I thought I had. But I just wanted to comment on what the cello's doing there. You hear that cello doing a lovely little counter melody in that little quiet section. Then, what did I say? I'd love to hear some harmonies in the chorus. We're just about to hear them, so I'm going to have to go back so we get the beginning of that.
I've escaped the mind, breaking down the boundaries, putting the past behind me. I'm stepping over the debris. I finally can breathe. I can see I am free. I've escaped the mind.
Now, I was going to say I'm going to launch a criticism here, but then again, I'm not sure whether it is a criticism, because I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking, do I actually like it? And two things on those harmonies. I noticed, first of all, the first thing I noticed is, for me personally, I would have loved the harmonies to be more prominent there. I think that would be so powerful to have good 3-part block harmonies at that point. The harmonies in the mix were slightly understated, I'm sure by intention, but for me, I would have loved those to be brought up a little bit. The other thing that I'm not sure about is, sounds pretty much like those harmonies were pitch corrected, because they sounded quite artificial. Not easy to tell for certain, because they're so low in the mix, so maybe my ears are deceiving me, but to my ear it does sound like the pitch corrected. Now, first I thought, yeah, I don't really like that. I would have preferred to hear natural voices. Then again, that might be what they were going for. They might have wanted that almost robotic, otherworldly sound, because that's what it generates. So as I was listening, I thought, you know what, actually, maybe. And I did start out saying it was a criticism, but as I was thinking about it, still had it ringing in my mind. I thought, no, actually, I think I might actually like it. So I'm just gonna listen to that again.
The mind, breaking down the boundaries, putting the past behind me. I'm stepping over the debris. I finally can breathe. I can see I am free. I've escaped the mind.
Yeah, I think I actually do like it, I think. So I still maintain I would like them further up in the mix, but yeah, I think that's okay. So we shall continue with the last few moments. Yeah, wonderful. So, yeah, out of the whole EP, that's definitely my favourite song. And again, I think this is one that I have heard Pau singing more recently. I've seen a video of Pau singing this on the piano, and really lovely song, and love those strings. And it's very much a Pau centerpiece, that song, isn't it? I don't hear Danny or Ali at any point on that song, which, no, that's fine. Now holding her own there, as she so often does. There are so many songs that I'm sure we can all think of that have been very Pau-centric, and Pau is such a great performer, great talent, great songwriter, great lyricist, great singer, great drummer, of course. Yeah, she's just great, as are Ali and Danny, of course. So that is that. So with that said, we shall wrap up there. Give me a like if you liked this video, and click subscribe if you want to hear more, you want to follow along and watch the remainder of this series. And of course, if you do have any suggestions, particularly live performances from The Warning or any other videos pertaining to The Warning that aren't actually from their recorded catalogue that you'd like me to give my reactions to or my analysis over, just give my thoughts on, I'd be more than happy to take a look at those, or indeed any other bands, any other songs. Welcome your suggestions, your comments, and with that, we shall leave that there and see you on the next one.